Okay, so stretch day. It's stretch day. Stand where everybody can see me. Alright, so it is the last day of week 5. This is the last day. Yeah, yesterday technically was the last day of the segment of the 1 of 30 workouts. And technically next Saturday is the last day of this segment. The 1 of 30 workouts are over. Today is stretch day. Again, no workouts, just stretching today. Very important to do a nice full body stretch at least once a week, and I have yet to find the full body stretch video I want to follow. But I think I'm just going to experiment, just follow some and do any extra that I need to. Anybody who's jumping in here, I'm just following a YouTube video stretching. You can stay if you want to. I'm pretty sure you're not going to. That's just how this works. I gotta get her information. Yeah. So I pretty much know what I do, but I don't want to skip anything. There are a few different exercises, or I don't want to say they're not exercises. They're not exercises. I guess technically they could be considered exercises. There are a few different stretches per muscle group that I do like, especially the leg stretches, that I want to make sure that when I actually put a stretch routine together, one, I want to make sure that I have, well, like I said, everything that I need for it. I have it scripted out, because you know these things are scripted out when they make these videos. That's just a given, so that I'm sitting here rambling through it like I do my videos. However, I do have a guide to go by on my normal workouts, even though I still ramble my way through them and talk through them. Anyway, this is my new chart for next segment. It's set up for 2 sets as opposed to 1 set. So yeah, one, I want to make sure I have it scripted out so that I can do it and just go through it. 2, make sure I don't miss anything. And 2, I want to make sure I have it set up so that I can record it nicely with all, I guess, better, I don't want to say better lighting necessarily, but I would actually like to put together a nice stretch video that looks a little better than what my normal videos look, that are just either live or a recording off of a live. I guess it really doesn't matter as long as I'm just doing it, but yeah, and I also want to make sure I incorporate, stretching and some yoga stuff, but I want to do it so it's a little more in depth, and I don't want to say intense. You don't want your stretching to be intense, I guess, but you want it to be deep and thorough, so that when you're done, everything feels relaxed. Okay, I'm not quite getting that on the videos that I have chosen so far. The P90X one just kind of irritates me a bit. It does a good job for what it does, but there's some things that irritate me, like, why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. This is dumb. Or this one is potentially painful, or probably is painful to other people. It's kind of a goofy one to put in here. Or the next one, the Turbo Fire one, really wasn't quite full body. It wasn't a stretch. The Sydney Cummings one was pretty close. That was a good one. The one I did last week was more just kind of, again, nothing wrong with what they're doing, but what I'm looking for doesn't work, and it was just kind of a obnoxious video. It wasn't a relaxing video to follow. It seems like more like what they were doing basically is a stretch that you do before or after your workout, but it was way too long. Like, you could have taken what they were doing, condensed it down to like 10 minutes, and made it a before workout stretch, as opposed to a nice full body deep stretch. But didn't say deep stretch on it. They do have one that is 30 minutes. That does say full body deep stretch, but it's like watching the youth pastor and his wife up on stage. It's like trying to be cool, you know. Not that I'm not trying to be mean to them or make, you know, I am kind of making fun of them, but not in a mean way. I'm not trying to be derogative and be an asshole about it. It's just how I see them, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just their personality, and it comes across with their little headset microphones, just make it a little worse. So I mean, they got millions of followers and millions of viewers and views on all their videos, so they're doing something right. You know, I got 24 followers on YouTube, and I barely keep one person in here. I got 2 in here right now. I need some leg stretches today. Yeah, I do too. So that's what I'm really hoping there's going to be some in here. She is starting. I think she's like German or Russian or something. She has a bit of an accent. I only watched about the first like 2 seconds of it to see how she started. Because you can almost tell by starting a YouTube a stretch video how it's going to go, just by like the introduction and like the first stretch. You know, like the Sydney Cummings one, she started with the ankle. She goes, I like to start with feet because a lot of people forget it. You know, so she starts doing ankle rolls and ankle stretches. I think that was kind of cool. I like that. But I like going this way, so it kind of bothered me a little bit that way. But she did some pretty decent stretches in there. But it seemed like when she did start bottom up, she neglected some of the, the arms. Like right now, I do this, I can feel it right through here. And that's from me not doing a lot of weight. A lot of reps, but not a lot of weight. Just so you know, no matter how many sets that I'm doing, the reps aren't going to change. The rep count, the overall rep count is not going to change throughout my workout routine. Everything is, except till the last 6 weeks. The last 6 weeks it changes. I'm probably going to be about anywhere between 45 to probably 60 reps per exercise. Okay, you're doing 5 sets, but you're doing 1 set of 3, 1 set of 1 set of 1 to 3, 1 set of 5 to 8, or 3 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 15, something like that. And you're going to have a lot of reps, but 5 sets. But the rest of it, it's all based off of 30. So, well, other than the abs are going to be 30 reps every time. We're just adding the sets as we go. 2 sets, 3 sets, 4, 5 sets, 6 sets, whatever it is. But as far as the weight training muscle workouts go, with the barbells and the dumbbells and the machines, it will be a total of 30 reps. 1 set of 30, 2 sets of 15, 3 sets of 10, 5 sets of 6, 6 sets of 5, 10 sets of 3. Then even when we hit the split and we go 3 sets of 5 and 1 set of 15, that's still 30 reps per muscle group. That last one is what's going to blast it. So I don't know why I got on that kick. Oh yeah, just because even though I'm not doing a lot of heavy weights, the more weight you add to it, the more you're going to start feeling it. So a nice, good, deep stretch once a week is great. The quick little stretches before and after your routine are good too. But like I said, a lot of these little routines that I'm finding on YouTube seem to be very easily condensed into just kind of a pre or post workout stretch, and I want something that's more of a relaxing end of the week thing. So when I start going up the stairs, I actually feel like, oh, this feels great. I'm still like, rambling again. But main thing is, like I said, is that the end of the week stretch. Can't say. I want to say stress. The end of the week stretch should be a nice full body deep stretch that doesn't leave you sore afterwards, obviously, but relieves stress, at least while you're doing it, and relaxes you. I haven't yet to find that. And I want to make sure that, like I said, when I make a video of me doing a stretch that I've put together, I want to make sure all of that is there. Okay, I don't want to make it too hard. I don't want to make it too light. It's got to be just right. Need to find the Goldilocks zone, where it's just right. You get that full deep stretch, but it relaxes you, and then you feel a little stress relief because it's relaxing. The music's relaxing. I have a bunch of Zen music I pulled off of YouTube that works for us. You know, oh, that feels nice. So hopefully we get some good ones in here. There's another one I was kind of watching, but it kind of bothers me because there's no audio cues. She's not talking. So you have to watch it, like 100%. You got to keep watching the screen. They do give you little. They're like little dings, like deep, deep, deep. You know, like the timer on your TikTok when you use the timer. It's like deep, deep, deep. You know, when they get ready to switch exercises. So you got to look up and read it, as opposed to her using a soothing tone, like a yoga instructor would, to guide you through it. So nothing wrong with that at all, and I kind of skimmed through that one. It seems like a good workout, but seems more, there's a lot of, you know, this stuff in there, which is probably good for you. You know, it's definitely good for you. I know that. I've done yoga before. I've sat in yoga classes. Can't really reference the P90X Yoga X as a yoga video, even though it is, you know, but it's an intensified version of yoga. It's like yoga moves as exercises, it seems like. It's like the reverse of Tai Chi. Tai Chi is made to hurt people, but they do it for relaxation exercises, you know, and mobility. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. Let me get her information so I make sure I say it on camera. So since I am live, and see if I can pull this information up. Okay, so it is. No, you gotta stop. Yeah. This works differently than the one upstairs for some reason. Probably because it's an older app. Back. Okay. Like it didn't rewind back to the beginning like I wanted it to for some reason. All right, so it's a 30-minute full body stretch, or 30-minute full body stretching. Perfect for rest days, no equipment is the title. That's what the title says. So that the title is catching because that's kind of what I'm looking for. Her name is Pamela. Probably going to say it right. I want to say Reif. Maybe it's Rife. Could be Rafe. It's R-E-I-F. So Richard, Edward, Ingrid, Fred. I don't know the phonetic alphabet off the top of my head. I was never in the military. I try to learn it and I always forget. What is it? Radio. See, I don't know. I don't know what E is. Igloo? And then Frank? Is that it? Anybody in here watching knows the phonetic alphabet? Am I right? Wrong? I don't know what E is. What is E? Echo. Echo. I'm dumb. It's Echo. So is it radio, Echo, Igloo, Frank? Foxtrot. That's Foxtrot. Alright, let me try it, but I think it is radio. I know it used to be Roger, because that's why we say Roger when we end our things, because it was short for received. They would just say R, which would be Roger. They'd say Roger. You know, even though received works as well. But I guess because of the staticky stuff, Roger saying the R, you know, I don't know. Anyway, Roger, over and out. But when it became like a world thing, the NATO took, you know, did it. They changed it to radio, I believe. I think that's correct. So Pamela Reef, radio, Echo, Igloo, Foxtrot. I remember Foxtrot from Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo, Bloodhound Gang. So anyway, let me rewind this back to the beginning. Come on, there we go. Doesn't want to do it. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. There's no reason to waste time. This is a stretchy thing. I'm not like avoiding doing squats. Kind of goofy of me. I have too many thoughts in my head. I think her mat is this way. So obviously I would be facing the television over here, not you guys. So that's the other thing. When I do mine, I want to make sure, like I said, this would actually work right here. You know, it looks like it's a nice view on the camcorder there, and I'm pretty much dead center and everything else. So if I was going to do my own stretch workout routine, this would probably be the right spot anyway. So it would look kind of crappy on these ones, but that one looks okay because it's not like showing all these. Anyway, so 30 minutes, full body stretching, perfect for rest day, no equipment. Let's see how this one goes. You know, if I would watch these first, I don't have time to sit here, well I do if I didn't sit here and talk all day. I could probably watch these in the time it takes me to talk to you guys. Alright, so let's see if this works. Let's see how this one goes. So, I think for a little bit I'm just going to keep trying YouTube ones, and anything they don't hit, I'm going to just do afterwards. And then I will start piecing together my own stretch that people would probably like to watch more if I was actually in decent shape. Another one I kind of skimmed through, there was a dude, he looks like he's a beast. Dude's like shredded to shit, you know. His intro is him like doing like push-up things that almost bring him up to like over a 45. He's doing it in push-up position and pushes up, and he's like almost straight. He's like, and it goes back down. I'm like, what the fuck? Might try his. His has full mobility, flexibility, stretching. I think it was 30 minutes as well. So maybe we'll try that one next week. And we'll try the other yoga girl the week after. I don't know. We'll do it. We'll do whatever. All right, start over.
Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's 30-minute stretching.
You hear the slight accent?
It's basically a longer version of the 15-minute daily stretch that I uploaded before. I recommend doing this longer version on a rest day or whenever you feel super stiff and have very sore muscles and just feel like your body deserves some extra love. Let's get right into it. We're just going to sit here at first and do some head rolls, warming up the neck. To one side, and then you can also switch to the other side. Don't forget to breathe very slowly and relaxed throughout the entire routine. And we're slowly going to stretch to one side. Put your elbow down on the floor. Feel the stretch in the side of your body. And then stretch to the When I was doing the routine yesterday night, when I was testing it, I felt like a newborn baby afterwards. Now we're slowly going to form our muscles and our arms, or arm muscles. I also like to interlock my fingers behind my back and then give my chest some space. Pull your shoulders back and then push your chest out. Very good. Let's come into a tabletop position and we continue with some cat and cow rolls. This is also amazing to increase the mobility of your spine, warm up your back. Okay, let's go into downward facing dog. We know this one by now. Stretches the calves, the hamstrings, the upper body, the shoulders, basically the entire body. Try to keep your back straight. Try to put your heels on the ground and lift your butt high in the air. You can also include some walks. Now we continue with a push-up motion and a cobra position. Back into downward facing dog. Push up and cobra. For the cobra, you also give your chest some space. Stretch your tummy and your chest. Then we stay in the cobra position and we add a little cobra push-up, increasing the mobility of our spine. Slowly rolling up and down. And now let's go into one of my favorite stretches, the shoulder stretch. Put your arm to the side at a 90-degree angle, and then we twist to the side, twisting the lower body to the side of your arm, and then stretching the shoulder and stretching the chest. And switch sides, put your other arm in a 90-degree angle, and then turn to the side. And then the more you want to stretch, the more you twist your chest to the other side. Try to keep your shoulder on the ground. And just enjoy the pain. Very good. Slowly come up into a very deep squat. I like to call this the P-number. Opening up the hips, the ankles. Put your arms in here for stability and then keep your chest in space, don't collapse. Rather stay up here. And we stay here and we add some big rotations to the upper body. From one side to the other side. Make sure that your knees don't collapse inwards. They always stay in the same position. Lift up your hips and bend down with your upper body. Your upper body is very heavy, leaning down towards the ground. Keep your legs straight and stretching your hamstrings. Now we stretch to one leg only. Trying to keep my back nice and engaged. And then feeling the stretch in the one leg in particular. And moving over to the other side. Walk your feet together, so they're close to each other, and then stretch downwards, trying to keep your back straight. Feel the stretch in your hamstring and your calves. Now we will move over into all the hip flexor stretches. So come into a lunge position. Sink down with your hip. Feel the stretch in your thigh and your hip flexor. Don't forget to breathe. Sink down your knee on the mat. Breathe in and then lean backwards. Increasing the stretch in your hip flexor even more. You can also stretch to the side. Bring down both of your hands on the ground and then include a big rotation. I'm lifting up my knee again. foot and reaching with the opposite arm for the foot, gently pulling it towards your butt and feeling a stretch, a very intense stretch in my thigh. Moving over to the pigeon position, so walk your foot to the other side of the mat, sink down your knee, and then get comfortable in the pigeon position. Feeling the stretch in your butt on this side. You can also lean down. Stretch, so lift up your foot, reach for it with the opposite arm, and gently, very gently, pull your foot towards your butt. Okay. Now watch closely what I'm doing. I'm putting my knee and both my legs in a 90-degree angle, so like this and like this. And now I'm leaning forward, grabbing my foot so it stays in place, and leaning forward and feeling the stretch in this butt cheek. Staying in this position. And now leaning over diagonally. Is that the word? So I'm leaning over in the direction of my foot. Let's switch sides, come into the hip flexor stretch, the lunge position on the other side. Sink down with your hip. Get comfortable, find your balance. Don't forget to breathe.
Balance isn't so good in this thing.
I'm putting my knee on my floor, breathing in, and when I'm breathing out, I'm leaning backwards, including a nice back bend. Move your toes. And also move over to the side. Putting both my hands on the floor, lifting up the knee, and twisting to the side of my knee, opening the chest. We include the thigh stretch, so lift up your foot, reach for it with the opposite hand, and gently pull it towards your butt. Walk your foot over to the side and meet me in a pigeon position. If you have your foot like this, it's harder. And if you move your foot more towards the direction of your hips or backwards, it definitely gets easier. So a 90-degree angle will be super hard, and then moving it more towards the back makes it easier. Feel stretching your back cheek. Up the foot, reach for it with the opposite arm, and include a thigh stretch. Bring your legs in 90-degree angles once again, and lean to the front. My butt cheek. Now we're going to lean over diagonally. And this is called diagonal. In the diagonal direction. Hallelujah, that hurts. Wow. Okay. Sit back on your bum. We're going to start stretching our hamstrings a bit more. I'm reaching for my right foot with my right arm. Opening the chest and then leaning downward in a straight way. Don't round everything. Do it straight and controlled. And now we're going to switch the arms and reach for the foot with our left arm instead. Again, giving the chest some space, twisting to the front. And switching sides, doing the same thing on the other side. My spine was just cracking. Switching arms, reaching over to the side, giving the chest space, twisting to the front. Open up your legs for wide as you can, please. And then reach forward to me as far as you can. Try to keep your back straight. I like to wiggle my butt to find a comfy position. And then reach forward as far as you can.
I wasn't lying when I said I used to be able to do the Van Damme splits. I just gotta get the strength back. I have the flexibility.
Reach over to one side, giving your chest space, trying to lay your head on your knee. I think I got better at this one. Remember, for the 15-minute daily stretch, I wasn't able to reach my knee. I love the stretch on the side of my body. And moving over to the other side. Opening your chest. And then laying down as far as you can. Look in. Slowly and gently meet your feet in the middle of in the front of your hip. Come into a butterfly sit, and then we reach forward. No, we bend forward, trying to put our knees on the floor. If you cannot meet the floor with your knees, that's perfectly fine. And then just relax in that position. We're going to hold it for 1 more minute because I like it so much. Feel the stretch in your inner thighs and just enjoy it.
She's actually sitting like this.
Especially from doing all those kind of sumo squats, I always feel like the inner thigh needs some love. Okay, come onto your back and then twist your knees from one side to the other side, pulling your abs in so you kind of massage your lower back on the floor. I'm really pulling my abs in, so my lower back is really down on the floor and twisting from one side to the other side. We start with stretching our butt once again. Cross over one leg like this, the other one like that. Reach your arms to the hole and from the side of the thigh, meet it at your hamstring, and then pull the knee and the leg towards your chest and push this side outwards, so away from you. Switch sides very quickly. Pulling the other thigh towards your chest, pushing the knee away from you, and feeling the stretch in your butt cheek. to keep both shoulders on the ground so the upper body stays straight and only your lower body twists to the side, amazing for the mobility of your spine and your hip. Quickly turn the pretzel to the other side as well. If I wasn't a wall. And now let's roll in. Don't break your neck. Try to meet the floor with your feet. You can bend your knees. You can have them straight. Focus is on stretching the lower back. Super good. Let's come into a tabletop position once again, and let's do some cats and cows. Someone told me that I'm always mixing up cat and cows, so I'm not going to talk you through this one, because I'm afraid I'm going to do it wrong again. Basically, we increase the mobility and the flexibility of our spine. Please stay in here. Lift up your knees. All my weight is on my palms and my feet. This is called the bear hold. And now pull in your abs. Keep keeping them strong. We come into the very last side stretch, leaning backwards, pushing our hips to the front, stretching the thighs, the tummy, and the chest. Very last one. Let's meet in a child's pose and just relax. And basically do nothing. Just relax. You can stay in the child's pose even longer if you like to. But if you want to end your routine right here, I would like to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like the feeling in your body right now. I definitely love it. Whenever I stretch, I feel so good afterwards. So have a wonderful day, and we see each other next time. Bye-bye.
Aw, she blew me a kiss. Oh. Alright. TV turn off lights on. Maybe I accidentally. I don't know. I don't know. Nope. It did not. It did not. turn. There it is. There it is. Okay, so review of that stretch. If you've done the P90X stretch, you'll notice that she did do a lot of the same stretches in there, like she did the is that boats or bow or something? I don't know. Plow. She did plow, where you lay on your back and you take your feet all the way over, which is not fun for fat people because it just bunches this up right here, and it's just like, oh, I can't put it. Yeah. However, it does help your lower back. I don't think that's plow. I think plow is actually the you're on your back and you have your feet straight in the air. I think that's plow. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, either way, he goes into that. He stays there for like 30 seconds or so, and it's just like, this is more of a workout, core workout than it is stretching. And then he goes into that, which is your lower back stretch. But again, if you're fat like me, it just bunches up your stomach, and it's like, So, I would recommend doing that one. However, she did do a lot of the stretches that I do on my own for my legs. Just happy. Because they never do, like, I've always, when I stretched, gone into a full split and did side stretches, grabbed my foot, switch sides, because I learned that in karate back when I was like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. I started karate when I was 7, and that was one of the stretches. Now, obviously, I was one of the handful that would actually be able to get into a full split and do it. Everybody else would be like, in their V shape, kind of like she was almost there. I wasn't 100% there, but I was like 98% there. I can still feel it. What I didn't like about it was it was very jumpy between exercises. It was like here to here, neck stretch, side stretch. We were seated, and then we went to downward dog, upward dog, downward dog, upward dog, back to this to do this, and back over here, stretch this. But that wasn't horrible because it was from a seated position and then moving, and then it seemed to get more organized after that first 5 minutes or so, which was cool. However, her upper body stretches were lacking, I guess. The only one that actually felt decent was her shoulder stretch, what really wasn't a shoulder stretch, it was more of a pec stretch. It's the same thing that the couple did last week, where they were on the wall. You can't see me anymore. When they were on the wall, I had to come over here to make sure everybody could see me. And they put their arm on the wall and turned. Okay? It's the same thing I do when I stand here. I usually have these poles up higher into it. I usually do on those poles, actually, the support beams. But you're here, and you just twist. So it really kind of just stretched right in here, which is fine. You need that stretch. It's a good stretch. And then she did this, moved it around like that a little bit. This is very basic. Now me, when I do this stretch, I usually, because again, I'm flexible, I will usually get all the way down like this to stretch out those shoulders. So, but that's me. So maybe that's not her and what other people do. So maybe she doesn't need all that to do that. See, I'm getting my stretches and upper body right now. But again, she seemed to neglect the upper body. Well, the sides, everything from the chest and the arms, chest, arms, traps. The neck circles were okay to start with, but there wasn't really a neck stretch in there. Other than that, I really enjoyed everything from the sternum down that she did. I think it was great. Again, a lot of stuff was in P90X, but it was condensed more into a 30-minute stretch than it needed to be, as opposed to being long and drawn out and overdoing it like they do in a P90X stretch. Like, you don't want to stretch too little, but you don't want to stretch too long. So you're in that position too long, it's going to really hurt when you come out of it, which is just as bad as not stretching at all. So these are good ones for your shoulder, triceps right here. They do that in the P90X because he starts up and goes down. Same here. Shoots right down your tricep. You go as far as you can go, obviously. Like I just showed you, I'm very, very flexible. But like I said, she hit the inner thighs, she hit the outer thighs, she hit the glutes, she hit the quads, she hit the hamstrings, the calves, a little bit of the ankles, the obliques, the abs, the lower back. All that was great. Got 2 packs, like my elbow, my shoulder almost a slow case when I do that. Doesn't actually, but it's like really off, like it's like I gotta push it back up good where it needs to be. I only did the one side, didn't I? Gotta do both sides. Get that more full stretch, like when the one she did kind of just got like right here in the pocket. Not the pit, the pocket, like right here where your shoulder and your butt, your chest, pecs, pectoral muscles meet. Extra side straps, twisting. What I do like about the P90X stretch is that they do focus a lot up here because they are doing a lot of work there. Not to be like sexist or misogynistic or whatever, but if you notice, a lot of the girls' workout routines are more focused on hips, butts, and thighs, core work, and more toning for the rest of the body. So you're not going to get probably quite as sore or stiff as a men's workout who are more focused on building, everything up here. And unfortunately, a lot of guys neglect everything down here and have chicken legs because they skip leg day. Leg day includes your glutes. As much as I hate it, I don't skip it. So, I don't think the female-led workout is going to focus a lot on the stretches for the muscles that they don't use as much in their workout routine. I guess. Just saying. Just a thought. I'm not saying that's every girl. There's a lot of girls that do full body, heavy lifting and stuff like that. I've got a mutual on TikTok that does that. And she can crush me. I follow a couple girls that are bodybuilders on there, also crush me. Some of them I would let them do it. Oh, now that was misogynistic right there. But whatever. I say what I want. I'm not being mean to anybody. Not being. offensive and probably offensive to some people, but whatever. Anyway, it's been an hour since I turned this on, which is probably the shortest it's been since I've started. Somebody's actually still watching me. I'm impressed. So anyway, that was 30 minutes full body stretching. The entire title. Mince my words together. The entire title, I believe, it said 30 minutes full body stretching. Dash hyphen, whatever. Good for rest day. No equipment. By Pamela Reif. I don't know. R-E-I-F is her last name. She has a whole channel on there. She's very pretty. I think she's German or Eastern European. Go with that. Could be French. I don't fucking know. I couldn't make her accent out very well, but it sounded like it was Eastern European. Very pretty. Adorable. Especially when she was trying to say diagonally. Diagonally? Is that the right word? That was kind of cute. She reminded me of this other girl on TikTok who has this really adorable, like, mousy type voice, and then she tries to pronounce English words. It's probably one of the cutest things on here. It's like English words that are very hard for me to say. Part 2. She's like, I would say, and she'd roll her R like crazy. But you don't roll R, so I would say it is this, and then she'll hit the Google, like the translate button, you know, or the audio button on Google Translate, and then she'll repeat it afterwards. It's cute. It's adorable. I think I need to actually watch these. Because I'm just spreading whatever skin grease. I think I got it. I think I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm not. I'm great. I'm great. So anyway, all right. That wraps up. Instagram's already off. I don't care. That wraps up the workout. Well, the weight training portion of the first segment. So the one set of 30 reps is done. Tomorrow we start our recovery week. Recovery week is just, it's not really a recovery. I don't know. It's a rest week that's not actually resting. Got the idea from P90X, you know, the muscle confusion thing that was really big. And that muscle confusion comes from the idea of hitting plateaus. Okay? You keep doing work, keep doing work, keep doing work, keep doing work. Next thing you know, you stop building. You know, you can't gain any more weight, or you can't lose any more weight, whatever it is. Usually it's with bodybuilders not being able to go past a certain weight that they're lifting and getting more gains. You know, their gains stop on a plateau. So like muscle confusion. Let's do muscle confusion. Because the muscles get, you know, muscle memory, which is a thing. Muscle memory is a thing. They get into a pattern, and then they just get used to doing it. You know, well, muscle confusion can be what they do in P90X, where they do 3 weeks of one setup for their routine, and then they do a recovery week where they switch it up a little bit, and then they do the next 3 weeks is same. Yeah, obviously you're hitting all the muscle groups again, but you're doing a different routine completely. So there's different push-ups, different types of pull-ups incorporated. You can only do there's still pull-ups and chin-ups, and then they do different pull-ups. They'll get a towel over here, and they'll do like this, do them like this. Then they'll do side-to-side ones, which are insane. I can't even do one regular pull-up. But they'll do different dumbbell curls than they did in the first one, you know, different types of pull-ups. They'll do diamond, or push-ups, they'll do different, like diamond push-ups, decline push-ups, wide push-ups, walking push-ups, you know. They incorporate different ones into different segments. And then they do the last 4 weeks, because it's 90 days, it's 13 weeks, so you need 3-1, that's 4, 3-1, that's 8, 4-1, that's 13. So they do 4 weeks where they do 2 weeks of the first section, and then 2 weeks of the second section, and then one more recovery week, and then you're done. Okay? Just do that muscle confusion. All right? But muscle confusion isn't always exactly what you think it is. I think it's kind of been debunked, but proven to a point. It's one of those, it is, but it isn't a thing. Yes, your body gets in a routine. You know, you muscle memory on moving things. You know, but you can change that up by changing your set to rep ratio as well, which is why this whole year-long thing, I'm doing all the exact same restrooms, all the exact same exercises, just changing the set to rep ratio. So yeah, basically, if you're the 3 sets of 8 to 10 guy, you know, and that's all you're doing, you're probably going to get into a rut. You're going to add some more weight. You're going to add some more weight. You're going to be like, yep, and then you're going to be like, why can't I add any more weight? Well, switch your routine. Either switch up the exercises you're doing, or switch up the set to rep ratio. Take the weight back down. Do your slow twitch muscles. Do your toning ones, or go ahead and just blast it with a reverse pyramid routine or a regular pyramid routine, which would be starting small and going heavier. You would think if it's a pyramid, it would be start here, go here, come back down. You know how long that would take? I tried doing that. I really tried doing it. It takes hours upon hours to do. Because now you have like at least like 10 sets to do. Because you got to start with like your 50% weight, move up to 60, 70, 80, 90, and then start going back down. You really don't want to do your 1 rep max, especially after starting here and building up. So you should get about somewhere between 2 and 3 at the top, and then go back down. That will destroy you. I mean, it will be like, it'd be like that afterwards. So yeah, you'd be destroyed, but it will like just rip you to shreds. So, but it's called a reverse pyramid. When you start high, you go low, because you're going down the pyramid as opposed to going up the pyramid, I guess. So either one will work. And you know what? When this year is over, maybe we'll reverse that and just start with we'll start with the upward pyramid. We'll just switch it up next year. We'll do a whole bunch of weird things next year, provided I can actually complete this year. But I have this year set up as is. We're leaving it as is. Then we'll play with it next year. You know. But the reverse pyramid is what actually got me cut as much as I got cut when I did this 8 years ago. I did 6 weeks of 3 to 10. I did 6 weeks reverse pyramid. That's what kind of got me, you know, cut. Because I noticed, I'm like, cool, I'm losing the weight, the extra cardio, I'm doing all this, you know, and you know, I'm like, cool. And then I switched to this reverse pyramid scheme, and I'm like, pyramid scheme. Routine, and then next thing I know, I'm like, holy crap, there's actually definition coming through. I'm seeing little veins here and there. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, oh my god, I actually got pecs to ab ratio here. I'm like, whoa, yes. So that's why we are ending the year with the reverse pyramid. And then we'll play with it again. When we play with it, I will work on a new routine for the year after, and we'll go from there. And we'll play with it. But we'll probably still do all the exact same workouts. Only thing I'm having trouble doing is trying to figure out how to make my supersets work for leg day. Because I don't want to do a squatting superset. That would suck. Do squats, or do back squats, do wide plie squats, and go right into my leg extensions and leg curl. I just blasted those with squats, and I would keep doing that there, and then go right back into it. It's like, squats incorporate all your legs, so I gotta try to figure out how to rearrange the routine to make it work more conveniently when we do the supersets in about 6 to 9 months, or whatever the hell it's going to be. I think it's in about 6 months or so is when we start doing supersets. So I have to other than that, nothing's going to change. When we do the regular, the 2 of 15, the 3 of 10, the 5 of 6, and the reverse pyramid, these will all be exactly done the same way we just did them the last 5 weeks. The same order, the same days, everything's the same there. But when we go into the supersets of the 6 of 5 and 10 of 3, and the 3 of 5 / 1 of 15, I have to rearrange it to make sure that I can go from like bench press to something that doesn't require this, to like from the bench squat rack combination that I need for the bench press to maybe lat pull downs to a dumbbell exercise over here for a different exercise. And then I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to hit all 10 sets in sequence without having to stop to rest the muscle, because switching to the next set, the next exercise, will give the muscle time to relax before I go back to it. But I have to make sure it's rearranged properly. To do so. So, yeah, anyway, that is it. This week is over. So, real fast, according to my, nobody's watching me, but according to my weight measurement I did this morning, obviously it's Sunday, it looks like I want to double check on Monday, tomorrow. That's it. You don't want to measure yourself, you don't want to weigh yourself every day, but there's nothing wrong with doing a 2-day, if you're doing it weekly, 2-day just to double check. Okay, take the lower of the two, whatever's lower of the 2 days. If today I'm at 195 and tomorrow I'm at 193, obviously I'm actually closer to 193 because maybe whatever's I ate last night or haven't gotten rid of yet is still there. It's not fat, it's just body stuff. Okay. You could be gassy, whatever, and then you're bloated, and your measurement is a tad bit off from what you want. You take it the next day, you realize you've lost an extra quarter of an inch or something. That's going to be a better thing. But you don't want to do that. Like you don't want, like I said it before, you don't want to keep doing that every day and then go, oh, now it's like Thursday, and you're like, and your measurements are Sunday, and you're like, oh, so I actually lost a quarter of an inch, the extra a half inch instead of a quarter inch. But you're already halfway through your next week of workouts. So if you measure yourself weekly, it's not going to help you. Even if you measure yourself monthly, you don't want to go that far into the next week. So, but with as tightly as my measurements are, my weekly measurements, I have no problem double checking, tomorrow morning, just to make sure, since, I'm going to have a full days of rest, so my muscles can do their thing, burn more calories from the end of the week, and whatever, and whatever needs to happen, you know, body-wise. Let me double check tomorrow, make sure it's correct. But so far, like this morning, I didn't drop any weight. It was 195.4. I was 195.4 last week when I weighed myself. It appears that the body fat percentage went down. Actually, since Instagram is off, I'm not going to bother turning it back on for this. I can actually look at my notes. Here. I can look at my notes. So yeah, it was 195.4 last week. It was 195.4 this morning. 28.6% body fat, 27.6 this morning. But here's also the kicker. I've explained how that scale works, how it reads that, you know, the more water in your body, the lower the body fat is going to be. And even though my mouth was completely dry last night, when I hopped on the scale said last week I was at 51.7% water. And this morning it said 52.8. So, which is the highest it's been actually. 49.2, 51.3, 50.5, 50.5, 51.7, 52.8. So, the body fat reflects the water in your body, because the more water in your body, the less resistance that it takes, or the less resistance that minor electrical charge goes through your body from one foot to the other. So, less resistance means lower body fat. So, more water means less resistance. However, obviously the BMI didn't change, because on those scales, when they read it, all they know is that the height plugged in and what your weight is, and it just bases off of that. So 30.6, 30.6, and according to the tape measurer, 44.25, 44 and a quarter, down from 44 and a half last week. Which, if that's what it is, I'll take it. It's still in the right direction. Weight-wise, now here's the thing with the weights. This could be 100% right. They're probably going to say the exact same thing tomorrow. Maybe a little fluctuation on the weight, but I don't think anything else is going to change. I don't feel like I felt like last 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I'm all like, you know. I have noticed, you know, it's not really much to notice, and I haven't been doing a lot of weight, but I'm starting to see a little more, feel a little more muscle tone in here than I had before. So, which means I am gaining muscle as well. So like I said, your weight is going to fluctuate if you are doing any type of weight training while trying to lose fat. So, if you don't lose weight, you could gain weight as well, but your fat percentage goes down. Like in this case, my fat percentage went down, my waist went down, and if I would take more measurements, I would probably notice more going down as well. Like, because again, fat doesn't come off in one spot. You can't target fat. I don't care what any trainer tells you. I know I don't look like the guy to tell you this, but I don't care what anybody tells you. Talk to a doctor. A doctor will tell you properly if he's not being paid by, you know, some, whatever. You know, as long as he's doing his job properly, a doctor will tell you the exact same thing. You cannot target body fat. All right, all those stupid little electronic things they put on your belly, they're not targeting body fat. You know, all they're doing is stimulating your nerves. Maybe, you know, if they can stimulate, you know, obviously makes your muscles twitch a little bit and stimulate your nerve. So you are working. It's no different. You didn't sit there doing a plank. You know, you're stimulating your muscles. You can do a plank. You don't got to spend $50 on some electronic piece of crap, so you can lay in your couch and watch TV while your muscles twitch. But if you want to do, that's fine. That's not going to burn fat. All right. I've had a lot of people say, I want to make sure that I like my booty and my thighs. They want to keep that fat booty and fat thighs, but they want that slim waist. Okay, that's not going to happen on most people. That is a body type. All right, it's a body type that gets that shape. Right? It's mostly, honestly, again, not to make this, please don't be offended by what I'm saying, that is mostly a body type of Black and Hispanic Latino. That is mostly their body type. It's more of a, I don't want to say it's a pear shape, I guess it kind of is, but it's more of a bell shape, honestly, because it's thin here, it comes out like that. That is more so their body type. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. Okay, but there's a lot of young girls, especially young white girls, that want to look that way because that seems to be what the norm. This is like back when I was a kid, it was big boobs. Now it's big butt. So just saying. Ideals change. Things change. Some people aren't turned on by big boobs anymore, which is whatever. I'm not. It's kind of goofy that I'm talking, but that's what it is. I remember one girl asking, she goes, "I need to just lose the fat on my stomach, but keep the rest of it," failing to realize that the fat is not the issue that's making it look good. It just looks kind of good because you're wearing jeans or something else over, or tight leggings that shape it when it's fat. Right? The key to getting that nice shape that she probably wants is to do squats. Honestly, squats will tighten that up the way she wants it, and it will also lose the fat. But she thinks she wants to keep the fat so it can jiggle. But I remember her she was so adamant about it, and she was arguing with everybody who was telling her you can't do that. She was, yes you can, yes you can. Like, you asked this question, which means you don't know, and you're telling me I'm wrong, and other people that they're wrong. You cannot target fat. Fat comes off where it is, and that will prove it if you actually take the measurements all over your body. Again, I know it comes off where it wants to come off, and my main concern is getting this down. I know the rest of it will take care of itself because the rest of it doesn't have as much fat as this does. All right, I carry most of it around my waist, as most guys do. All right, so the rest of it is coming off, and I can see it in the videos that I make. I've noticed that this is thinning up here. I've noticed when I'm doing my cardio videos in the morning before I start my workout, especially when they're doing the jump rope stuff, the fake jump rope thing in between exercises, I noticed that my man boobs are not bouncing as high as they used to just 5 weeks ago. I watched the first video versus the last time I did it, and I'm like, that's much better. But if I took the measurements, across the chest, measurements across my upper abs, took the measurements across my waistline, across my hips, across my thighs, across my calves, but all the measurements that you're supposed to take for bodybuilding and stuff, I would notice more of a difference because I would see that okay, I lost only a 1/4 inch here, but this went down another 1/4 inch as well. This went down a 1/4 inch as well. This went down an 1/8 of an inch. All these little this arm flappy stuff here, which I know there's not a lot there, but it's there. So if you do all the measurements, you will notice that there's a lot more fat loss than you think, when you're only focused on one portion. So when I lose a 1/4 inch off my waist as opposed to a 1/2 inch, or the 3/4 inch, I lost a week when I was doing the more intense version of what I'm doing now, and the extra cardio. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know I can lose more, but I'm not going for that. I'm going for nice, steady, slow. So when I lose a 1/4 inch, but I can see the difference in the pictures, major difference in the pictures, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm not going to be upset about not my weight not going down, a 1/2 pound to a pound from last week, when I can see a difference in the muscles, even though it's very slight. So I know my fat went down a little bit, and I didn't lose any weight. I'm fine with that. I don't care about the weight. I'm under 200 pounds. I am perfectly fine with that. My height, I'm 5'7", just under 5'7". I shouldn't be over 200 pounds. You know, if I'm over 200 pounds, I'm either, well, like I was when I started, I was 201 pounds. And I had a nice full beer butt. It's my butt. Beer belly, beer gut. I was trying to say gut. You know, it was actually up here too. You know, if you notice you drink a lot of pop, you're a lot more bloated up here than you are down here. You know, the gassiness that's just kind of settling in there. If you drink a lot of pop, you're going to have this, or even beer. That's why you get that gut, because you have all the gassiness from the beer and shit. So once you stop drinking that, and I've noticed a difference in the way my fat sits. You know, I'm not like, now I'm just kind of down here. So, but yeah, I was more rounded around here. I mean, I'm only 2 inches around my waist here, smaller than I was 5 weeks ago. Okay, that's not a huge difference, but it is a huge difference, because if I'm 2 inches smaller here, that means that I'm smaller fat-wise everywhere else. All right, my muscles tone. So, but if I'm 200 pounds and I'm, say, 8 to 10% body fat, I am going to be huge for my size. I mean, I'm going to be big. I've seen. Look at a guy. Look. Type it in. Type in 5'7", 180 pound, fit man, something like that, and you will see that if you stretch them out, you know, to like 6 foot, 6'1", they would probably be the equivalent of a 210, 215 pound, you know, man. So they're pretty big. They're pretty ripped. They're pretty cut. They have big muscles, you know, but they're not like this. So I really don't want to be. I want to be under 200 pounds, roughly about 180 should be fine. So I'm not worried about weight. As long as it stays under 200 pounds, the fat keeps going down, I'm happy. As far as the weight goes, the fat percentage, I want to see that drop to 8 to 10, and the waist, I want to see it get down to at least 32 here. All right, I know I can wear 34 pants, because that's what I wear. At least the Wranglers that I wear. But I want the gut, the waist, to be the same as where the waist band is. I want that down to at least 32 around here. You got all your muscles and leaks to go. You know, so at least 32 here. You know, my size I could probably get down to 30 if I wanted to, which wouldn't be a bad thing either at my size. Again, I used to wear 29 slim cuts. While still kind of having like some slight pudge. You know, never like big, but just, you know, never like shape. You know, never like cut or muscle, you know, the definition. You know, I don't want to say it was pudge, but I could wear 29 slim cuts. Just saying. So I should be able to get down to 30, but I'll be happy at 32. At least that way it'll be more of a nice slim, because my shoulders and my chest is around 44 right now. I know it's around. It's always been around 44. I don't care what shape I've been in. It's always been around 44. So if I can get this down to 32, I will be good. That's a good thing. That's something right there. Any guys that are watching this, obese for guys is anything where you're, I guess anything where your waist should be 10 inches smaller than around your chest. So whatever your jacket size is, your waist size should be about 10 inches, roughly 10 inches smaller. So if you're 44 on your jacket, you should be a 34 on your stomach. Again, don't quote me on everything. I believe that's correct. I believe that's what I remember hearing. If you're watching this, Google it. Google is free. You can check anything anybody says. And since that's not something that's controversial, it's just upsetting to people. It offends people. It makes them upset because you're telling them the truth. Well, that's controversial, I guess. But since it's not politically controversial, you'll find the accurate answers, by looking it up. So, but yeah, your waist should be about 10 inches smaller than your chest. Ladies, yours is going to be something different. I don't know because I'm not a lady and I don't pay attention. Well, pay attention, ladies. But your waists are smaller. Your set up, your build, your body is naturally shaped different than ours. So yeah, you're going to have a slimmer waist, probably a slimmer top, and it might be just set up differently. 36, 20, 36. Only if she's 5'3". Sorry. I'm a dork. I think, honestly, it's more like 36, 24, 36. That's kind of, it's like almost corset style. But it's, I think it was like 34, 20, 24, 36. I don't know. I will look that up though. Come back with it. Maybe. Probably not. Yeah, I probably will. So anyway, I am done rambling. There's no point in me continuing to ramble as I am. It's 11:30. I got down here late. Anyway, bye-bye.